Long, long ago, on the first night of Oban, a widowed samurai named Ogiwari Shinonojo sat on his porch watching the day fade into the night. To his surprise, a beautiful young woman and her maid, who was carrying a lantern emblazed with a phony, walked near. The pair paused to speak with Ogiwara, and he found the young woman's name to be Otsuyu. An instant attachment was formed, and Otsuyu promised to return the following night, at the same time. From that night onward, always at dusk, she would arrive with her maid, carrying the same phony lantern. Ogiwara and Otsuyu rapidly progressed in their affair, and she took to sleeping with him, always leaving before dawn. This relationship continued for some time, and both were happy. However, a suspicious neighbor, wondering at Ogiwara's new habit of staying awake all night and sleeping all day, hid away inside his house, peeking through a small hole in the wooden wall in order to observe the old man's nighttime shenanigans. Much to his surprise, he discovered that the widowed samurai was passionately entwined with a skeleton, packing only scarce, clinging bits of rotting flesh and cobweb-infested long black hair. Half mad, the neighbor fled the house, screaming in terror. The next day, he confronted Ogiwara, bringing with him a Buddhist priest who warned of the dangers facing his soul. One cannot dally with the dead, of course. Ogiwara took this to heart and vowed to free himself from the spell of Otsuyu. With the priest's help, he surrounded his house with ofuda, strips of paper which upon were written Buddhist sutras, offering protection from the supernatural. That night, Otsuyu and her maid came as always, but they cried at the steps of the porch, unable to enter the house. Night after night she returned, begging Ogiwara to remove the ofuda, so that they may be lovers once more. Slowly, the old man's resistance slipped away, and one night he left his house to join his beloved. The next morning, he was nowhere to be found. His friends looked far and wide, only until the neighbor suggested that they search the cemetery. After searching the gravestones, they finally found the graves of Otsuyu and her maid, emblazed with the same phony lantern. Opening the crypts, no one was surprised to find that Ogiwara, his corpse, was passionately entwined with his skeletal lover. At least that's what they say. With the story told, blow out your first candle.